Have you ever wondered what makes a home truly inviting? It's not about stylish furniture or trendy decorations. Rather, it's about creating a feeling. From proper lighting to harmonious color palette, here are 10 ways to instantly make your home more inviting. The facade of your house and your entryway is the first impression everyone has of your home. It is also the first area you see when you get back home. That is why it is so important to make it functional and also aesthetically pleasing, as it will impact your mood and how you feel about your home. If you currently have an avalanche of jackets, shoes, and random stuff in your hallway, it is time to start decluttering. That is what I did with my own entryway. Think about how you use your entryway and design this area around your functional needs. In my case, I built a custom IKEA storage unit that doubles as a bench and a drop zone on the opposite side of the room. This is not limited to big spaces either. Take this small and cluttered entryway as an example. Even such a small space can be maximized by adding a slim shoe cabinet and coat hanger, along with a surface to dump your everyday carry. If you have a larger space, a bench or stool can also be a nice addition to sit down when putting on shoes. Everything else that is not a necessity can be kept in a closed storage or away from the entryway if you're short on space. A home with an overpowering or unpleasant scent is extremely off-putting. While I love using diffusers and subtle scents in homes myself, I find that too much fragrance is never a positive experience. I've encountered homes and cars where the scent was just too strong and it actually gave me a headache. Of course, smell is quite subjective, but there are some odors that are universally unpleasant, like lingering garbage smells and musty odors from poorly ventilated rooms. Unfortunately, it is also common to not notice if our own homes smell bad, as we become so accustomed to them, not to mention the health implication of breathing in the same air in again and again. My tip is to regularly ventilate your room by opening the windows to get the fresh air in. During winter, simply open the windows all the way just for a few minutes, and close them right after to avoid cooling down the walls and furniture. If you live in a tropical or warm climate, install fly screens on your windows to avoid insects coming in. Some diffusers or candles in your favorite aroma is also a great addition to your space. Just be mindful that some aroma may potentially be toxic to pets, and remember not to overdo it, as overpowering artificial smell can also be a turn-off. Color significantly influences our moods, playing a crucial role in making our homes feel comfortable. A welcoming ambience goes beyond the specific colors associated with a certain interior style. Eclectic or maximalist interiors, bursting with colors, can be as inviting as minimalist interiors featuring soothing whites or creams. The key often lies in achieving a harmonious balance of colors. Homes saturated with overly bright and neon colors, lacking visual equilibrium, can feel harsh, overstimulating, and uncomfortable, leading to eye fatigue. Yet, a home that is entirely devoid of color and texture can feel very cold and just as unwelcoming, albeit calming to some. Finding the right balance that works for you and other members of your household is crucial. As humans, we tend to have an appreciation for color, so finding ways to express them in our space is important for our well-being. Repetition is often key when it comes to incorporating color in your space. As you can see in this room, there's no shortage of color, but every single color is repeated at least once. Yellow in the paint, plant, and objects, blues on the table, rug, and painting, and orange in the cushion, lamp, and painting. Remember to also vary the shades of color so it doesn't feel too one-dimensional. If you're interested in learning more about color or styling, then I highly recommend you check out this class by Emily Henderson on Skillshare, who is the sponsor of today's video. In it, she goes through practical ways to create a space that is uniquely yours. It also includes an incredibly helpful style quiz to help you find your interior style. For those who didn't know, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes taught by industry professionals who have walked the walk, and an active community ready to cheer you on. Looking to start a side hustle? You can take various classes on how to build a brand and online presence. Want to be more productive? Take Ali Abdal's learning path, which takes you step by step through 4 different classes. Want to be more creative? You can take classes on unlocking your creative identity. You can even learn individual skills from photography all the way to making music. The first 500 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Have you ever been in a home that is way too dark or uncomfortably bright? While lighting is often an afterthought when it comes to designing a home, It is one of the most important aspects and has an immediate effect on how welcoming a space is. You need to make sure that you have the right type of light and the right color temperature for the occasion. Using harsh daylight bulbs when you're trying to have a romantic dinner is never going to be a nice feeling. Similarly, using only ceiling lights in places where you relax like a living or bedroom is often not a pleasant feeling, as they tend to cast very harsh shadows that look unflattering. The general rule is to layer different types of lighting, including accent, task, and ambient lighting, and have them in various different places throughout the room. I also swapped out my downlights into ones that can dim and change color temperature, which offers a much nicer experience than harsh blue lights in the middle of the night. If you're not sure whether you've gotten the lighting right in your home, check out my video on how to light a space for a full in-depth guide linked in the description box below. Few things are more uncomfortable than being in a home that is excessively hot or cold. An extreme temperature in either direction will only trigger signals of discomfort in your brain, making it difficult to concentrate on anything else. What makes it worse is that achieving the perfect temperature balance is always a challenge, given that everyone has different opinions on what is most comfortable. Studies have shown that maintaining indoor temperature of 21 to 22 degrees Celsius resulted in the most optimal comfort and productivity for most people. I personally live in Australia, so I find that anything around 21 degrees in winter and 23 degrees in summer is a happy medium for me, as it balances comfort and expanse. Yet, for someone who lives in a colder climate like Norway or a warmer climate like Singapore, their idea of an optimal temperature will be totally different. Apart from properly insulating your home, which is costly and not feasible for everyone, investing in window treatments like thermal curtains or blinds can help significantly in maintaining indoor temperatures. Honeycomb blinds are considered to be one of the most energy-efficient window coverings. Investing in a good heating and cooling system like a split AC is also well worth the investment. I also think that smart thermostats are very useful, as they're aware of your schedule and room's temperature and can adjust your heating or cooling accordingly, which helps reduce energy bills. Nothing is more unwelcoming than walking into a dirty and cluttered space. It is stressful and overwhelming to have dirty dishes lying around, thick layers of dust on your countertops, and spaces that have so much clutter that it just becomes an obstacle course to move around. These are all things that are very easy and free to fix, so there really isn't any excuse. One effective method that I use is the 1-minute rule. If it takes less than a minute to complete, do it immediately. This includes returning things to where they belong. It takes the same amount of time and effort to return things once you have a designated place for it, and you'll never have to deal with misplaced items. If you want to learn more trick on keeping your home organized, be sure to check out my videos on 60-second habits. This leads to my second point, which is to make sure everything in your home has a designated spot, as it is much easier to maintain and keep your home organized when you have a system in place. That being said, you don't have to go to the extreme of having an absolutely spotless room. You'll still want your home to feel relaxed and lived in. Otherwise, guests can feel on edge and be scared that they're going to mess something up when they're over.
Whose little ball of paper is this?
Inviting homes feel very personal, showcasing collections accumulated over a lifetime that mirror journeys, experiences, hobbies, and stories. If you want your home to feel more inviting, then do the same. Build a collection of sentimental decor items. This could be anything like books, art, vinyls, objects, trophies, or even things that represent your life or hobbies, like a piano if you love music. You've likely come across opulent homes and expensive mansions online or in magazines that, despite their million-dollar price tags, feel extremely cold and sterile. They always seem to lack plants and natural elements, which I think is the main cause of this. As humans, we tend to be drawn to nature, so incorporating natural and organic materials, whether that is wooden flooring or linen cushions, can have a massive impact on a space, imbuing it with warmth and a welcoming feel. Apart from aesthetics, plants can also elevate your mood and help purify the air. Luckily, most indoor plants are super affordable and readily accessible these days. They only require a quick visit to your local garden center or nursery. Consider a sizable potted plant like a rubber plant for expansive areas, or opt for a small succulent pot for a tabletop. If this isn't for you, a dramatic flower or branch arrangement in an elegant vase can also work wonders by adding some organic shapes into the room. Rug may not be a necessity, but they add a warm and homely feeling to a space. I'll particularly suggest rugs if you live in a cold climate and have a lot of cold flooring in your home like stone or tiled floors, as they can be absolutely freezing in winter. Rugs are also a good idea if you have bland floors, as you can use them to add color and texture back into your space. They are also great for improving home acoustics, and it's always nice to stand on something soft. If you live in a hot climate, you may be skeptical about adding a rug, but they can still work well. You just have to opt for a flat weave or low pile rug in either wool, cotton, or jute. I find this especially important as many places in warm climates often have shiny white tiles, which can look really sterile, especially with white or grey walls. I feel very fortunate to now reside outside of the city, waking up to the soothing sounds of nature and birds every day. I totally understand if this isn't a reality for you, as I used to live near an airport and constantly heard the noise of aeroplanes and trucks, which is far from pleasant. Soundproofing isn't always an option, so my best advice for creating a more inviting home is to embrace music. Today may be the day to treat yourself to those nice speakers you've always wanted for your home. With music alone, you can control and change the mood of a space to feel more relaxed or energized. I personally invested in the Sonos ecosystem, which allowed me to play ambient music all around the house. This can be especially soothing in areas like the bathroom, and they all connect wirelessly so you can add them wherever you want. Music is also great for entertaining, as it has the power to completely transform people and trigger positive emotions. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the 9 biggest design mistakes and how to have a cozy space on a budget. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.